It passed by a very slim margin. Odell Beckham Jr., meanwhile, seems upset that players didn't vote. He tweeted 500 plus voices, 500 plus opinions. Hella disappointing. Couldn't even vote on your own future. Can't even comprehend it. So a lot to get into here, and we are delighted to have Sam Acho with us. He is a member of the NFLPA's executive committee. He's the brother of our teammate here, Emmanuel Acho. And Sam, as we just mentioned, this deal passed by the most narrow of margins. What does that tell you?
Yeah, it tells me that it was close. It tells me that there are a few things that could have changed that could have really swung this vote. About 1,000 people voted yes, which means they like the deal. They like the increase in minimums. They like the increase in benefits. But also almost 1,000 people voted no. And that tells me that we were ready for a strike.
So, and we will again talk to D. Smith a little bit later in this hour. We are in unprecedented times here, obviously, with what's going on across the country with the coronavirus and the expected economic impact of that. How do you think that factored into players voting?
I think it did. There's actually a point where we talked about actually allowing players to change their votes. Obviously, you look at all the information that's coming out with the coronavirus and every major sports league shutting down or suspending their league and even schools slowing down. So a lot of us said, would that affect our vote? But as a union, we decided to not allow people to change their votes to keep the integrity of the voting process the same.
Can you expand on that thought? Because I do think in such vastly different circumstances, it made some sense to some people to allow players to change the vote. Take me a little further into that decision.
Yeah, definitely. Well, while we were actually at rep meetings, which was about a week and a half ago, before the coronavirus started really spreading the way we know it, there was talk about allowing guys to change their votes based off of new information in the CBA that players didn't necessarily know about. About a week and a half ago, we had a vote. We voted, every single rep voted to see if you wanted to allow the players to change their votes or not. That vote did not pass. And so fast forward about 2-3 days ago, a couple of days before the final decisions could be made, we had another call saying, do we want to allow people based on new information to change their votes? And the consensus was, once again, if we didn't allow them to change their votes 4 or 5 days ago, let's not allow them to change their votes now.
Fair enough. All right, Sam, and then there's a lot of people who are wondering whether it is the right thing to do optically and or otherwise for the league year to be progressing as it is right now. And it is our understanding it was the NFL Players Association that told the NFL that they believe this is the right time, that to move forward, the delay was not the wise choice here. What is your perspective on the idea that in 3.5 hours, the period to begin conversations with agents, et cetera, will begin, and the new league year and the signing of free agents will start in just 48 hours?
Yeah, I think that's the wrong decision. I believe that the league year should be suspended or delayed, just like every other major sports league. I look at the travel that players will have to take. You have to get on a plane to go visit a team, to go do a physical. Maybe you sign, maybe you don't. Now you fly back. Now you go visit another team. If you look at even what the CDC is recommending as far as limiting travel, as far as social distancing, I don't think it's wise for the league year to start right now. I think that if you want to sign a player, if you're a GM or an owner, you've watched the film. You know what that player can do. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. There's no doubt in your mind. If you want to sign that player, you know what he can do. And so if I believe that if you are going to start the league year, I don't think that travel needs to be necessary right now.
Yeah, it may not be necessary. Just as a quick final thought here, you've been around an awful long time because I don't know that travel is going to be a realistic option for the overwhelming majority of people involved in this. Can we just conduct all of this business, save for the physical, virtually, the way you and I are talking to each other right now?
Yeah, I believe so. We're in the 21st century. You can send things online. You can sign a document online. I believe it can be conducted virtually. And even moving forward to OTAs. OTAs for some teams start in 2 or 3 weeks. I think that date needs to be pushed back as well in order to allow our country to heal.